Rasheed Wallace with a little shove after the whistle.
And free throws now.
Ball don't lie. That's what he always yelled. Now, I don't know why he received a second technical for that.
Talk to me about this Ball Don't Lie t-shirt.
So we always sold t-shirts. That was like how we made money in the early days. For whatever reason, I thought Rasheed Wallace, when the Celtics signed him, I just went all in on it. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a monster shirt. And I bought like boxes of them. And the Ball Don't Lie, it was just a basketball with the headband and the little bald spot that Rasheed had. And we didn't really sell many of them, so I was stuck with them. Boxes of them, and it just became an ongoing joke. Like, I'll give you, here's a Ball Don't Lie shirt. So yeah, it's an OG shirt. Devlin still wears it like 10 times a week, I feel like.
Hi, I'm Trista Crick, Barstool's correspondent. When you're new here, a lot of words come up that you've never heard before. So I wanted to investigate what those words mean and where they come from.
One phrase we unearthed was Ball Don't Lie.
So I sat down with some of the OGs to get the scoop. Ball Don't Lie. Take me through that story.
Ball Don't Lie derived from Rasheed Wallace signed with the Celtics, and I think whenever he got fouled, he would say, like, when he was going to the free throw line, he'd be like, "Ball don't lie." Essentially, like, it was a bad call, and if the player missed the shot on the free throw and it missed, he'd be like, "It was ball don't lie." That's why the point didn't count. Dave thought this was like brilliant, and he's like, "I'm gonna put it on a t-shirt. We're gonna retire off of this t-shirt," because it was such like a popular thing that people were screaming.
I'm pretty sure he thought that he was gonna retire. Like, it was just gonna be like, that was it.
That represents such an old school mentality and such a old school phase of Barstool where Dave was like so convinced, like, we're gonna retire off of this one. I'm gonna make so much money off of this shirt.
How many Ball Don't Lie shirts sold?
Not a whole ton. Not a whole ton.
None sold. I don't think he sold any.
I don't think anyone bought it. I think we like literally put up a goose egg.
I don't know why. I mean, we had a couple of those. That was all-time failure. Aroyd, huge failure. Those were some of the bigger ones I went all in on that just didn't work.
I feel like the thought was that Rasheed Wallace was gonna take him to the moon, and instead it just ended up being like 2,000 t-shirts sitting there unsold.
Dave had his office upstairs, and then there was this closet off to the side that was just full of shit. And 99% of that shit was boxes of Ball Don't Lie t-shirts.
Back in the day, our t-shirt situation was very different. It basically was like, we would make maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 t-shirts every month or two.
Wow.
Like, not a lot.
Whatever you were gonna sell, you had to buy it in bulk first. And then we'd like package them and sell them out of the office.
And so if you had a shirt that wasn't a hit, like I've had a bunch of shirts that weren't hits, they would just basically go to the t-shirt graveyard where there would be a bunch of them.
When I found out that we had a warehouse, not a warehouse, but like a storage unit full of those shirts back in Milton, I was like, I gotta get my hands on one of those, because that to me is like the Barstool collector's item.
We brought it back as like a collector's item. It sold then as like a joke.
I mean, anybody who doesn't understand that that shirt is fire just doesn't, they don't know the phrase, they don't know the history, they don't understand the bald spot and the headband and the whole, it's genius, it's brilliant.
Maybe actually if it happened now, it would probably sell a lot more because the internet's different and people can see that clip a million times over.
It was a pretty good shirt. It was an okay shirt. And then the catchphrase made a lot of sense.
This was a good idea. It's the public's fault.
Maybe he was just ahead of his time.
That happens occasionally. There's just a shirt where you're like, this is a fucking good shirt. Why aren't people buying this?
It may be the most brilliant thing he's done that hasn't worked.
1000%, 1000%. It's like, that was one where it's like, no, you're wrong, not me.
I don't know if I'd call it genius. That's a stretch. It was a fine shirt.
The rendering, if I remember correctly, it was just Rasheed Wallace in his bald spot.
On the ball.
That was kind of like, I think it was one of those things you probably, not everyone could understand right away.
He wasn't a big enough name. It was too late. Like, Ball Don't Lie was too, like, no one cared on the Celtics about Rasheed Wallace.
I guess Rasheed Wallace was probably at the real end of his career.
Yeah,
so.
he was a Celtic at the time.
Yeah, it's like a Michael Bennett shirt to make.
Where are those shirts now?
I don't know. I actually do not know. I used to have, in my garage in Chicago, I used to have like 5 or 6 of the Ball Don't Lie shirts in like a big box with all of our t-shirt graveyard, but I think I got rid of that.
When's the last time, if ever, you've seen anyone wear the Ball Don't Lie t-shirt?
It's been years. for sure years.
It became like a long-running thing where like he would go out and be like, hey, if you send me this video, like free ball don't lie shirt. Or like if you see this out there, like free ball don't lie shirt. And that was just a way to get rid of all the shirts. Ironically, over time, it became like such a popular thing that people actually did want the ball don't lie shirt. It's kind of the genius of Dave Portnoy marketing.
Did all of them end up getting sold?
No, I think there's still a bunch in my basement, actually.